Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be creating a tier list for every single weapon in Apex Legends Season 6. I'm going to rate each weapon S through D and give an explanation for the strengths and weaknesses for each weapon. I'm also going to share with you guys the top 5 best weapon loadouts, and these weapon combinations are going to help you win more games in Season 6. You guys are actually going to be surprised where this Mozambique ends up. Also, keep in mind guys, I did use some objective information like time to kill, damage per second, some statistics to help shape my opinion, but this list is also based on my personal experience, so your playstyle and opinion on each weapon could differ from mine based on what works for you. Before we get in the video, if you're new here, first off, welcome to the channel. My channel is all about you as a player in Apex Legends and helping you to succeed at the game. If you're looking for consistent content that's going to help lead you to that championship banner, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you guys won't miss a video. Alright guys, let's hop right into this tier list. First off, we're going to talk about the D tier weapons and work our way up from here. With these D tier weapons, we won't focus too long on this lower tier because let's be honest, no one wants to use these weapons. You might be better off using your fists, maybe jump kicks, I don't know, but first off, let's start the list with the P2020. This is a semi-automatic pistol. It's got low damage, it hits 15 to the body, and this thing is not what you want to have in your arsenal late game. You know, the P2020 hammer points, I will say, will up this weapon from a D to maybe a B-. It's okay, especially since the shields got reverted. So early in the game, the P2020 with the hammer point rounds is going to help you secure some decent amount of kills, but honestly, late game, I would rather drop the P2020 that has hammer points and pick something up that's going to be A tier or S tier. Moving on to the C tier weapons. These are weapons that you can utilize early to mid game, but again, you're most likely going to want to swap these weapons out for A or S tier weapons late game. The C tier starts out with the RE45. The RE45 is an automatic SMG that does rival the R99's fire rate. However, it starts only with 16 bullets in the mag, only does 12 damage to the body, and has a body DPS of 150. If you find the RE45, you might want to upgrade it to literally any other SMG in the game in order to have a fighting chance. Our next C tier weapon is a slight upgrade from the RE45, but not much, and that is the Alternator. Like the RE45, the Alternator is an automatic SMG. However, it does have 10 more body DPS than the RE45. It's got a 160 body DPS rating, and the Alternator gets a slight edge over the RE due to its ammo capacity, which was buffed recently. The Alternator can hold up to 27 rounds in the magazine with a purple mag, and that is the reason why I picked the Alternator over the RE. Next up on the C tier, this might surprise some people, but it is the Spitfire. I know a lot of people who actually like to use the Spitfire as their primary, but hear me out here. Although the Spitfire does have a massive ammo capacity, which lets you spray and pray, you can hold down the right trigger, you can hold down that mouse button, you can fire as much as you want, but hey, listen here, this gun has a very slow fire rate, only 154 body DPS, and LMGs cause you to strafe so slow in Apex. If I'm going to severely hinder my strafe speed with a weapon, I want it to be able to pack a massive punch, maybe a sniper rifle where I can just stop, quick scope, shoot. That way I'm not just a sitting target as I'm trying to unload the mag. Or if you're trying to use an LMG, let's just use one that's later on in the tier list that's going to pack way more of a punch than the Spitfire. Trust me, if you ever see me late game this season, you will hardly ever catch me with the Spitfire because there's so many other options out there that have a faster time to kill, better recoil control, and allow for you to be a much more difficult target to hit. Next up on the C list, we have the L-Star, and man, this weapon really confuses me. In my opinion, the L-Star is the least used energy weapon in the game because as an LMG, the Devo outclasses it, the Havoc seems to be more accurate, and the Volt is just well, you'll hear about the Volt later. But yeah, the L-Star can actually put out some massive damage and drop players early game in an instant with a 180 body damage DPS. However, this gun overheats pretty quickly and the bullets are extremely slow, so it makes targets that are at a range really hard to hit. One thing that this gun has going for it, and I don't know about you guys, but when I get shot at with an L-Star, I swear I cannot see anything. They need to fix the gun where it doesn't seem like you're staring directly into the sun when you're firing fighting against this weapon. Let me know, guys, are you blinded when you fight someone with an L-Star? Next up on the C list, we have the Charge Rifle. The Charge Rifle is a solid sniper rifle. I just have it down here because there are some better options in the game, and I'm not a huge fan of snipers in Apex anyway, even though this season does favor some snipers due to Evo armors and being able to level up that armor safely and ranked. But mainly the Charge Rifle just eats up sniper ammo. It takes 2 sniper rounds per shot. You're not going to have a lot of ammo to use this thing, and personally I just like other snipers better. Alright, so let's move into the B tier. These weapons might be making it to your in-game loadouts. They might not be broken per se, but they are some of the more balanced guns in the game. And the first weapon in this B tier is the EVA 8 shotgun. Some people swear by this gun and actually prefer it over the Mastiff. However, I think the EVA 8 is just an overall balanced gun. It doesn't do one thing insanely great. It doesn't do anything wrong. The double tap attachment does help with increasing the time to kill. You just have to be accurate with your shots since there's only 8 bullets in the mag. And personally, I find myself being able to survive 2v1s and 3v1s a lot more consistently with the Mastiff because it can pack way more of a punch. So I just think there's a better shotgun in the ground loot. That's why I have the EVA 8 as a B tier weapon. After the EVA, we have the Sentinel. Again, the Sentinel is in B tier. Don't pick on me. I'm not a huge sniper in this game because of how fast players can heal, how fast players can revive, and then abilities that also can counter you before you're able to capitalize on that awesome snipe you just had. So the Sentinel can be very good. Don't get me wrong. Personally, I just prefer the longbow because it can hold 5 more bullets, which is a max of 12 versus a max of 7, and the DPS on the longbow is faster. So personally, I can spam the longbow shots a little quicker. And then since we're talking about the longbow, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this here on the B tier as well, just one step ahead of the Sentinel. Again, it has a lot of bullets in the magazine, and I just feel more comfortable using the longbow. I just have more shots to fire at an enemy and don't have to worry about bolt action. Next up on our B tier list, we have the G7 Scout. Now this is mainly a personal preference for me. The G7 Scout is actually super deadly in the hands of the right player. However, for me, I can't ever hit my shots with it. Personally, this season, I'm more of a Hemlock fan for a longer range AR, or give me a sexy wingman to poke from long range. This is why the G7 Scout is just a B for me, mainly because I lack the confidence, I lack the ability to hit my shots with this weapon. And the G7 Scout also gives you a really slow strafe speed. When they moved it from a sniper class to an assault rifle class, I believe they kept the sniper strafe speed, so you're literally a sitting target as you're trying to stand an ADS with this weapon. The Scout does have a 136 body DPS, and it does a whopping 60 damage to the head with a headshot, so that's huge. So guys, don't be afraid to rock a G7. It's really good. I'm just an absolute pleb with this gun, so that's why I have it here on the B tier. The last weapon to round out the B tier list, and the top weapon in the B tier, was honestly hard to put in this category, mainly because I rocked this gun quite a lot last season, and that's the Flatline. I feel like this weapon would basically be B plus tier, kind of on the border between B and A, because the weapon can put out a lot of solid damage at a 190 body damage DPS. The gun has great hip fire control where you can really control your accuracy while hip firing. However, I feel like the buffs to the other 2 heavy weapons and the addition to the Volt just gives you better options. The Hemlock has more range, the Prowler has more firepower, and the Volt, well, it's just the Volt. So, you know, the Flatline's not bad by any means. There's just some more incentive to pick up the Prowler or some other weapons. So next we move over to the A tier weapons in this list. You're gonna want to keep your eye out for these guns, and you're gonna want to 100% grab these when you find them. They will help carry you to that championship banner. Now, the first on this list is the Havoc, and I had a hard time placing the Havoc on this list because if the gun does not have the turbocharger, if the gun does not have an extended mag, it's honestly not the best. It's kind of goes back down to the B tier if you do not have those things. But hey, if you have a fully loaded out Havoc, oh my gosh, the DPS on this thing is insane. It has a 202 body DPS. That's huge if you can hit your shots, and let's be honest, you can't really go wrong with the Havoc if you grab one and you have a turbocharger. So after the Havoc, we have the R301, and to me, last season, the R301 and its versatility kind of rivaled the R99 a bit for me. So now that the R301 is here in the game and not in the care package, it really takes over as the best light weapon to run in Season 6. The gun is just a laser beam at mid-range, and it has some really reliable hip fire up close. So if I'm running a light weapon this season, I'm 100% running an R301, and it is in the A tier. After the R301, we have the Hemlock, and oh man, this gun is actually so good now. With this season update, they practically made this gun have 0 recoil, and if that wasn't good enough, they increased the weapon's fire rate. This gun straight demolishes people when you're able to get a headshot, and it's so much easier to control. Gun is actually insane this season. It's really good. So guys, pick up the Hemlock, practice it. You'll get some dubs, trust me. Next up, we have my favorite weapon to use since the game release. The weapon that feels so good when you get knocks with it, and we're talking the Wingman. The Wingman just feels so good when it hits, and its time to kill with this gun is actually insane when it hits. The problem with this weapon is, can you hit your shots? I swear I'll even go stretches where I'm going from hitting multiple consecutive shots to whiffing absolutely every single bullet in the clip. This weapon's definitely one of the harder weapons in the game to master, but when you can master the Wingman, you're gonna be at such an advantage at all ranges. The aim down sight speed with pistols like the Wingman is the same strafe speed as when you're hip firing. So the Wingman allows you to be deadly, hitting shots up to 101 damage, while at the same time you're such a difficult target to hit. This weapon could easily be S tier if you're rocking your shots, or could be straight up trash D tier if you don't know what you're doing. So guys, pick up the Wingman, practice with it. This gun is the most rewarding to use in the entire game. After the Wingman, we have the best ground shotgun in the game, and that's the Mastiff. This weapon falls short of the S tier ranking solely due to the fact that it's not versatile, but it is dominant at doing one thing, and that is straight up dominating in close quarters combat. The Mastiff is the best weapon in the game to me at getting multiple kills and squad wipes because it has so much damage potential. Pick this gun up, throw in a purple shotgun bolt, and no one is going to want to mess with you in close range. Trust me. Lastly, in the A tier, we have the Devotion, and to me, I question why the Devotion was added to the ground loot because of how strong the weapon is. This weapon has a massively high damage per second to the body at 255, and it also holds up to 48 bullets in the magazine. Even after the season nerf, this thing can still end a whole team's chances in literally one magazine. Just spray and pray. To me, the Devotion is outclassed by a few weapons in the S tier due to the fact that the Devo isn't the best at longer ranges, and it's an LMG, which means you can be an easy target to hit while you're aiming down your sights. I'm not sure why this gun came out of the care package. I think it should go back right into the care package. It's kind of OP. Next up, we have the S tier weapons, and these are the absolute best guns in the game and all of season 6. In this tier list, we are not covering the care package weapons because care package weapons should always belong in the S tier. And now I know what you're thinking. Grizzy put the Mozam in S tier. What is this man thinking? Well, the Mozam, after it got its buff, no, it's actually still trash, D tier. But let's be honest, with the hammer point rounds, we might be able to bump up the Mozam to maybe B- on the list. But hey, you don't want to pick up a Mozam. Let's get into those S tier weapons. Alright, so the first weapon here in the S tier is actually a sniper, which is very unlike me, but this weapon is so good right now, and that is the triple take. This weapon now always has the choke attached, it had its fire rate massively increased, and the magazine size was increased as well. This thing is literally super versatile because you can use it to drop people from sniper range, and you can turn around and use it sort of like a quick scoping shotgun. The triple take is so damn good this season, and it's actually kind of cool to see a new weapon shine in the meta, and this thing will destroy people off the drop. I'm telling you, you're gonna hit people for 150 and you're just gonna drop them before they can even pick up shields. So guys, look out for the triple take. It can carry you to a victory. Next up, we have the Prowler, and in burst mode, the Prowler had its recoil reduced, and this thing absolutely shreds both in burst and in full auto mode. You don't even need the select fire anymore because the burst mode is so easily controlled. I think that is the second best gun in the game. It rivals the Volt, and it has 200 body DPS rating and can have up to 35 bullets in the mag. So trust me, pick up the Prowler this season. It's gonna carry you to some dubs for sure. Lastly, we have the best gun in the game this season, and that is the newly added Volt SMG. This gun is actually such a good weapon because of its versatility. If you need a weapon with a fast strafe speed, check. You need something for accurate hip fire? Check. Need a weapon to slap a bruiser on and laser at medium ranges? Check. This gun is so good. It literally has 0 recoil, and the damage per body shot is a massive 208 DPS. I think the Volt provides so much benefit to your loadout with you being able to do so much. This gun has even a fast reload time and has 0 charge up, unlike the Havoc or Devotion. Me personally, I put the Volt in S tier and Devotion in A tier simply because its versatility. I would rather have a Volt versus a Devo because you can apply more pressure at mid-range with a Volt. So guys, let's quickly get into these combination of weapons. I'll just give you top 5 loadouts that you should be looking out for that's going to carry you to dubs. Things that I've been rocking this season: the R301 and the Mastiff is absolutely perfect because the R301 lasers at mid-range, the Mastiff rocks people at close range, so use those together. The Prowler on select fire or burst with the triple take. The Prowler will give you great mid to close range, while the triple take acts as a shotgun and a sniper. Also pair up the 2 best SMGs in the game. Use the Volt and the Prowler. Slap a 2 times on that Volt and you got a medium range AR/SMG and the Prowler for up close and personal. Try out maybe the Wingman and the Devotion. I know the Devotion is toxic and doesn't need a lot of skill to use, but the Wingman needs tons of skill to use. So hey, pair those two together. So if you're whiffing your Wingman shots, then whip out that Devotion and just spray and pray, baby. Lastly, try out the Hemlock and the Volt. You can't go wrong with the Volt in any of your loadouts, and the Hemlock is going to add some more range to it. Maybe use that Hemlock for that mid to long range and use that Volt for close to medium range. So guys, let me know what your favorite weapons are this season in the comments below, and how would you change them in the tier list. Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you like the video, and guys, I'm Grizzy. I'll see you on the next one, and I'm out.